Hi, I'm Christine. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm here to chat about 10 recent releases and if I think they were worth the read or not. Alright, I've been doing these 10 recent videos for quite some time here on my channel, so like I have a little series where I do 10 recent, and whether it's tropes, subgenres, whatever the case of recent reads that I've read, then I let you know if they were worth the hype, worth the read or not. So today's video I wanted to do 10 new recent releases, so I'm going to go through them pretty quickly and I will let you know that yes, no, or maybe of either why you should pick them up, why you shouldn't, and I'll quickly let you know why my thoughts are the way they are for those books. So we are going to get into them. Of course, as always, I have linked all the books below, so if you want to grab any or if you miss any and want to go back to see the ones I was talking about, they're all going to be linked below in the description of the video, the title and the authors, as well as my Goodreads is linked down there as well, and that is where I review every book that I read. So if you want more thoughts, full reviews on any of these books, you can get to my Goodreads below as well. So let's get into it. We're going to keep it pretty fast. Alright, first up is Bourbon and Proof by Victoria Wilder. This is going to be an absolute yes for me. I love this book so much. It was my favorite read of May. So this is the third book in her Bourbon Boys series, which is a small town romantic suspense series following brothers who own a bourbon business, a bourbon distillery in Kentucky. This one's marriage of convenience, mutual pining. Love this one so much. Brother's best friend, so good. Highly recommend. Love this one. This whole series is so good. Highly recommend. Then we have Rewind It Back by Liz Tomforty. This is the fifth and final book in her Windy City series. This one is going to be a yes from me as well. This has just been a really fun sports romance series overall, and so I highly recommend all the books in the series. I know that everybody has their own favorites, but this one is one that I really enjoyed, and here we have a hockey hero. So this is a second chance. The hero and heroine have a history in this one. She was the girl next door growing up, and so they had that young love that we see in flashbacks, and then in the current day of the book, they are neighbors again, and so there was some things that led to their breaking up, and so they have a lot of things to work through from the past as well as with their future. Love this one so much. Definitely recommend grabbing this one. Next is What Happens in Amsterdam by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This one's going to be a no from me, possibly a maybe, but honestly for me, no. I feel like the cover for this one is gorgeous. I love the bright colors. I love the tulips. It's set in Amsterdam, which I feel like is super fun, but this book, just something was missing for me. I have enjoyed books from this author in the past, and I don't know if either her writing style has changed or maybe I'm just not jiving with her books anymore, but this one was a bit of a miss for me. It just felt very boring, which, hate to say that, but that's how it felt. This is a second chance romance where the heroine moves to the Netherlands for work, and on one of her first days, she ends up running into her ex-boyfriend, who is the hero. He was actually a foreign exchange student years ago and went to high school in the States and lived with her family while he was there, and so now it is their second chance again. This one, it was just kind of boring for me, so very mid. It was just okay. It would probably be a no from me though. All right, next is My Favorite Bad Decision by Elizabeth O'Rourke. This one's going to be a maybe for me. I have read majority of this author's backlist, and this book, I don't know, it just didn't really work for me, but I know a ton of people who have loved it, so that's why maybe it's a me thing. I'm not sure. This one is basically a kind of adventure style romance where the hero and the heroine actually run into one another at the airport, and they are both about to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and so a bit of a like adventure, only one tent situation. And here they have some history as well, because he dated her sister years ago and ended up ghosting her sister via text after dating her for a few months. And so it's been over a decade, but the heroine's sister is still hung up on this guy, still sees him as the one who got away. So it kind of goes from there. This one I just needed a little bit something more, and I felt like I really didn't like the situation with her sister and the hero. Even though it was a decade ago, they should all be over it. It also was just kind of weird because her sister is still hung up on this guy, still is thinking of leaving her current husband to go back with this guy. I don't know, it was a little bit messy, not really my favorite from this author, so a maybe for me. All right, and then we have A Royal Mile by Samantha Young. This one's gonna be a maybe from me as well. I've been reading this author's books for years now, and I really do enjoy her books, but this one was just a little bit mid for me. I feel like it was a little too long, a little too tedious for how many pages it was, and I just loved the first book in the series so much more, and so I had really high hopes for this book. I loved the mental health and the anxiety rep in the first book in the series, so I wanted kind of maybe similar vibes, and this is not similar vibes, and so maybe that was just like a me thing of going in with the wrong expectations. This also is a royal kind of romance where the heroine here is the grandson of a princess, and royal romances are not really my favorite thing, so that part kind of didn't work for me as well. I feel like I had a lot of things working against of what I enjoy reading, so maybe that's the case. It's a college romance. She has a podcast, and it kind of goes from there. It's friends to lovers, which is one of my favorite tropes, but I feel like all the rest of the book just didn't really work for me. I didn't really connect with these characters, this couple. couple. So not my favorite from this author, but it would be a maybe because I know tons of people are loving this book. So maybe just a me thing again. Then we have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. This is going to be a yes for me. I feel like this author just really works for me. I love her contemporary romances and how she weaves in magical realism. This is her newest release, and my favorites from her are still The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip, but I feel like this one is just slightly under those, and so it was really good. I liked the musical elements in this one. The heroine is a songwriter, and the hero is a former boy band member. His father was also like a famous rock star, so he has a lot of connections to the music industry as well. The heroine's living in Los Angeles when the story starts, and she is a songwriter, and a famous like pop singer is singing a ton of her songs, and she ends up getting a call from her family to go back to North Carolina. Her mom has dementia, and they're like, this might be the last like summer we have as a family with some of her memories intact. So the heroine ends up going back home, and when she's there, she realizes that she was missing something being in LA. Like, she really misses her family, her friends, and just kind of the musical venue that her parents own. And so she's really just happy to be back home. So then, like I mentioned, this does have magical realism. So in here, she starts to maybe hear somebody else's thoughts. She hears this like unfinished song, this unfinished melody, and she decides to try to communicate with the other person's voice, and they can hear one another's thoughts and kind of talk back and forth. And so it kind of goes from there with them working together to try to complete the song. And of course, you know, things happen from there. So yeah, this one I would say yes to. Next up is Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. So this one I had really high hopes for. This is going to be a no from me. And I hate saying that because I loved Lights Out so much last year. It was one of my favorite like dark romances of the year. But this one was just such a miss for me. And I feel like everybody I've talked to has also given it like around 3 stars. So it wasn't terrible, but there was just like nothing keeping me interested in the story, sadly. And here the heroine is a cam girl, and the hero is kind of a mobster, and like a reluctant mobster. He doesn't really want to be in that world, but his father is a part of that, and so they have grown up with one another. They actually went to the same church, and so they were always kind of in the same circle. They had a little moment in the past and some hurt feelings. Some things went down with that in the story that you find out, and so now it is years later, so it's a bit of a second chance with them, and it goes from there. And I just needed like a little bit something more. I just felt like these characters were very mid compared to the characters of Lights Out, who just really stood out. So it was just okay for me, which is really sad because I loved Lights Out so much. So probably a no, honestly. Next is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is another one that I had really high hopes for. This is going to be a maybe from me. I loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue from this author years ago, and this book I had heard early reviewers saying that it gave similar vibes, so I was super excited to go into it. Just kind of those atmospheric vibes that this author delivers on. So I went into this one, and I feel like it just ended up being okay. The first half of the book, not gonna lie, was a total slog to get through, so I will say if you're invested enough to stay until the end, the last like maybe half or the last third of the book gets so much better, and I really enjoyed it. But I feel like to get through all of that, to get to just the ending being good, doesn't make a book really worth the time all the time, if you know what I mean. So it was just okay. This is basically vampires, sapphic. We have different like relationships that we see play out, different timelines, and how maybe relationships change over the years. So I felt like the ending was really good, but I feel like to get there was a slog to get through. So a maybe from me. Super sad because I loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue from this author so much. Next up is The Bad Boy Rule by Maren Moore. This is going to be a yes for me. I really enjoy this author's books. I feel like some more than others, and this is one that I did enjoy. This is a new release from her, and it has a good girl, bad boy energy. The hero in here is a hockey player, and the heroine is a figure skater. They go to college together, and basically they both book private ice time at the same time, and so they have to share the ice, and it goes from there with the hero realizing who the heroine is. And her father is this very like wealthy businessman, and the hero has some things against her father for reasons, so he decides, you know what, maybe I'm going to use her, seduce his daughter as like a revenge plot. And then at the same time, the heroine is kind of upset with her father as well, and so she decides, you know what, maybe the hero, who is such a bad boy, has tattoos, he's so against everything my parents would want me to have in a guy, maybe I should pretend to date him. So it has fake dating, opposites attract. What I liked in here is the emotional like character growth for the hero and the heroine as well, and just seeing them connect and be that person for one another. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was a super fun opposites attract, good girl, bad boy vibes. All right, and then these next two, actually one of them comes out today and the next one comes out tomorrow, so I'm going to toss that one in as a bonus recommendation. So first up is Eliza and the Duke by Harper St. George. This one is going to be a maybe to a no from me. This one I did not really enjoy. I've enjoyed so many books from this author in the past, and I feel like this one was just very just very mid. It was okay. I didn't love it. So I would probably say no personally, but I also really want to support historical romances right now. And this is this author's last traditional published book. So I have like mixed, conflicted feelings about it. I feel like the story though, overall, I just didn't feel the same like heart and energy behind the story. Basically, this is the second book in a series, and we're following these sisters who are American heiresses, and they had to go to London to try to find respectable, titled gentlemen to marry to then gain their inheritance. And so the first book I really enjoyed. The second book was a bit of a letdown, and I just didn't really connect to the characters in this one or the story. The hero in here, he's a prize fighter, which I love that, but the book overall was just okay. So maybe, but possibly a no from me. Love the overall like blue cover though, so there is that. All right, and then the last one, which is a bonus one because it comes out tomorrow, is Empire of Seduction by Mila Finelli. This is the second book in her New York State of Mafia series, which is small town meets mafia romance. This one's gonna be a yes from me. I actually really enjoyed this one. This is one where the heroine owns a winery with her brother, so they own their family's business, and at the beginning of the story, she finds out that her brother gambled away their family's company. So then the hero shows up and he owns their family's winery now, and he's also somebody that the heroine had a one-night stand with the previous night. So they already have a little bit of a physical connection, but now of course she's super mad because he is the owner of her family's business and she's very involved in the winery, and so it kind of goes from there with her being super upset at first. But then of course they have to work together and things go really well because the hero is super wealthy and he can just throw money at a lot of maybe the things they couldn't afford over the years and upgrade things and just make their business better. And of course he has mafia ties as well, and so it goes from there. Small town meets mafia. I've been enjoying this series from this author, so this would be a yes. All right, so those are the 10, well technically 11 because of that bonus one, new releases that I wanted to talk about today and let you know if they were worth the hype or not. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have read any of these, if you agree with my thoughts, if you're gonna pick any of these up. I would love to know. If you've read any new releases that you've enjoyed, leave those in the comments as well. And if you'd rather leave me an emoji in the comments today, let me know that you watched this video. Leave me a picnic basket. Picnic baskets give like summer vibes. This whole like books and brunch situation shirt is just giving me picnic vibes as well. So do that. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.